In this video, we're going to add and subtract polynomial expressions. Adding polynomial expressions is really just combining like terms. So even though we have polynomials separated by an addition sign and distinguished with sets of parentheses, all we're really going to be doing here is combining like terms. So for example, I have 3x squared plus 4x plus 3 as one trinomial added to 2x plus 5x squared plus 1. The only way I could add them together is by combining the like terms. Now there's a couple of ways we could do this. We could, because it's addition, just go ahead and mark the terms that are like terms and go from there. You might want to rewrite it so that like terms are right next to each other. So we have 3x squared would be added to 5x squared. And 4x will be added to 2x. And 3 will be added to 1. And go ahead and combine like terms from there. So we have 8x squared plus 6x plus 4. I have seen some students prefer writing it in a vertical manner. I'll do that in a different color here. So they take one polynomial, 3x squared plus 4x plus 3, and they write it vertically, lining like terms together. So 2x would actually be written underneath the 4x, and because it's a positive, there would be a plus sign written in front of it. 5x squared would be aligned with 3x squared, and it is also positive, so we can keep that positive sign there. And then we have plus 1 would align with the positive 3. And then you can do a vertical addition. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4x plus 2x is 6x. 3x squared plus 5x squared is 8x squared. So there are really multiple ways you could go about solving or simplifying, adding multiple polynomials. The key really is you want to add the like terms together. For example, B, I'm just going to stick with, I'm going to mark my like terms and combine them. So I have negative 5a squared added to 2a squared. Negative 5a squared plus 2a squared is negative 3a squared. A plus a negative a is actually 0. I do not need to write a plus 0. I can cancel them out. 2 plus negative 9 is minus 7. So my answer is negative 3a squared minus 7. When it comes to subtracting polynomials, there is one additional step I need to take, and we've talked about this when we've done simplifying or adding, subtracting like terms earlier in the year. And that is, we need to distribute the subtraction with our second polynomial. So the first polynomial will stay 3y squared plus 8, but I have to distribute, this is essentially a minus 1 that gets distributed. So negative 1 times 6y squared is minus 6y squared. Minus 1 times 4y becomes a minus 4y. Minus 1 times negative 2 becomes a plus 2. Now we can identify like terms and write our answer in standard form. You always want to write your answer in standard form. So 3y squared minus 6y squared is negative 3y squared. The negative 4y would come next, because remember, you want to write this in decreasing order of your exponents. And then we have 8 plus 2 is positive 10. So again, on example B, the first thing you want to do is distribute that subtraction, or distribute a negative 1. First polynomial stays the same. The second polynomial will become a plus 4t squared minus 3t plus 1. And I highly recommend that you always write this step out. It's when we don't take the time to write that step out, and myself included, that mistakes tend to happen. Identify my like terms, write my final answer in standard form. So 12t squared plus 4t squared is 16t squared. 5t minus 3t is 2t. Negative 7 plus 1 is subtract 6. So again, when you're adding and subtracting polynomials, what you're really doing is combining like terms. But the one thing you need to remember when subtracting polynomials is to distribute the subtraction.